Afternoon. It's April 24th, and we're finally getting some warmer weather again after the freezing weather we've had the past week. Frost every night and cold temperatures during the day. We're getting ready to plant some of these Sarpo Mira seed potatoes in these black containers. What we've done is put like 4 inches of leaf compost on top of our garden planter, and we buried the bottom of these pots inside the leaf compost. Sorry for the helicopter noise. We've having military helicopters flying over all day today. That's about 15 of them that's went by. So we'll let that guy get on by and we'll keep it going. So we're going to plant these in the black containers. We have 6 potatoes here. These are organic seed potatoes, Sarpo Mira. And we're going to plant them in these black pots. And in the bottom of the black pots, I've got about 4 inches of dark, rich leaf compost, which is in the yellow kitty litter buckets, and mixed with 2 inches of garden compost from where we did our sweet potatoes. So we've mixed all of that in real well. We've got our rich garden compost and our rich leaf compost. And we mixed that in the bottom of these containers after we buried these containers in the ground about, 3.5, 4 inches in the leaf compost. So these potatoes will grow, the roots will grow out of the bottom of the pots into the leaf compost. And this is a little trick that I've seen off of a gardening channel, Garden Like a Viking. He also has a gardening channel here in Indiana. And we're going to try that this year. So we buried our pots in about 3 to 4 inches of leaf compost. And then we put leaf compost and garden compost in the bottom of the pots. And to that, we're going to add this organic tomato and vegetable fertilizer, a little bit of sulfur, and a little bit of bone meal to each container. And then we're going to top it off with the leaf compost and the garden compost. So we're going to put 2 of these seed potatoes in each container, and we're going to make sure the eyes are planted up. We're also going to make sure that if these sprout above ground before the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks, we're going to cover them. We're going to get some more frost blankets. We lost a lot of our seed potatoes this year due to frost damage. But with it only being a couple more weeks before we can plant anyway, and our last frost date being Mother's Day, I think we'll be all right. So we're going to put 2 of these in each container, and then we're going to top it off or put some fertilizer in there. Maybe we'll put the fertilizer in there first so I don't have to worry about breaking these shoots off. So we'll put some fertilizer in there, then 2 seed potatoes in each, and then we'll top it off with our soil mixture. So we'll probably do this is garden sulfur. Your potatoes like a sulfur for lowering the pH. We'll probably put a tablespoon in each bucket. Now we've got some bone meal. Potatoes are a root crop, so they like bone meal. This is a 680. It's good for your root vegetables. It's full of phosphorus and calcium. Apologize again about the helicopters. Like I say, they've been running maneuvers here. We're about a half an hour from a military base south of us. So we'll put about 2 tablespoons of this bone meal in each container. Then we have a tomato and vegetable slow release organic fertilizer. It's a 364. We're going low nitrogen because we're trying to make potatoes, not potato leaves. So we'll put a couple of tablespoons of this in each container too. And if need to be, later on in the season, after it's all topped off with the soil, we can top dress with a little more fertilizer. Better to do a little less in the beginning than to overdo it from the beginning. You want help? You want to smell? You like that, don't you? Getting dusty. Okay. Now we'll mix that all in really well before we set our potatoes in there. And I keep stepping over these mounds. These are where we had our potatoes planted originally, where he's smelling at now, and it burnt the tops off with the frost that we've had the past 3 or 4 nights. So we're trying not to compress the soil down here too much. So we'll just step over and we'll get up here and we'll mix all this in. Help. Now we'll put 2 of these seed potatoes in there, opposites of each other. Eyes up. One here, one here. And we're setting them one on this side and one on this side, so when they grow up, Lord willing they make it, they grow up above ground, then we can trellis them up to this little homemade trellis we have here and not have to put cages over them. You're gonna get dirty, buddy. We're kind of layering it. A couple of inches of leaf compost, a couple of inches of garden compost until we get it up to the top of the container. You're gonna get dirty. Oh, you're dirty. Now we'll top it off with the leaf compost, and it'll make like a little mulch for the top. And that'll be it. We won't water this in until we see green shoots growing above ground. There's no need to water it now because there's no roots on these potatoes to take up any water. So once your green breaks above ground is usually how I do it. Then I start watering. So we'll top it off with the leaf compost, and we'll call her done. And that's how easy it is to container plant your seed potatoes. And we'll do some updated videos once they sprout above ground. This is our first year growing Sarpo Miras. They're grown primarily in the UK, but after seeing a lot of the container harvest videos online, these things are phenomenal. So we'll keep you updated. If you like the content of the channel, give us a thumbs up, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.